If Courtney Love's house was ever featured on Through the Keyhole, they'd be hard-pushed to guess it was hers. The Queen of Rock owns rooms of beautiful antique furniture and a myriad of flower arrangements big enough to hide behind. There's a ballroom, an inglenook fireplace, and a handmade disc-playing music box.
So in here is my secret spot. It's weird. And I had this shit made. I never wore it. I think it would have been a disaster had I done some of these costumes. This was like my Scarlet Lady thing. It's got a bustle on it. Fairly ridiculous. You know, I was like out of my mind on drugs, designing. I know, I was a bit of a nutbag. I'm not anymore.
To deal with feelings of loss and abandonment from a young age. Her parents, both involved in the psychedelic 60s scene, divorced when Courtney was 6. Courtney's recollection of her childhood is unhappy. Her mother moved between various hippie communes worldwide, taking another 3 husbands along the way.
Not to put too dramatic a thing on it, but it was a bit Dickensian, you know, my childhood. And I did not have a very good time. And yeah, you know, I just had a terrible upbringing.
Courtney rebelled in every way she could, ending up in and out of juvenile hall, travelling the world and sampling its extremes, from stripping in Korea to hanging out with British pop stars in Liverpool.
I do remember not having any good social skills, although I learned them later. I learned them from hanging out at a gay disco and learning them from drag queens, and I learned them in Liverpool. I learned them in juvenile hall. So I learned from like future criminals, you know, drag queens, and rock stars.
Relations between Courtney and her parents have often been strained. We were chatting one day in her study about books when she showed me one written by her father.
Cauldron and the Grail.
Go on.
The Cauldron and the Grail is the most important book on the Holy Grail in over 30 years. In this, the first volume of Hank Harrison's trilogy on the Grail, the internationally acclaimed author... What planet is that nationality in? Traces the development of the sacred chalice of Celtic and Greek mythology, anthropology, astronomy, and archaeology, highly readable and riveting. A refreshing approach that should appeal to scholars and New Age readers alike.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
I haven't spoken to him in 25 years.
25 years?
Yeah, since I was about 15. Is he basically just not even in your... He's a nutbag.
Yeah.
My mother I haven't spoken to in 15. You know, and maybe I've spoken to her a few times in 15 years, like screamed at her to get out of my life or whatever, but there's no exchange. They're just nutbags, and I think that, you know, you have to like go, God, I come from such bad stock, you know, I must be a terrible person. You know, that's part of the self-loathing. Is like, my parents are really horrible people, and I must be a horrible person because I come from them, you know. But
I don't still believe that.
Well, I believe that through chanting you can change your DNA.
No.
And I believe that when I don't chant, I sink into seeming like Hank or seeming like Linda.
Don't share her picture of her childhood, but clearly talking about them deeply affects Courtney. Are you angry, or are they just kind of dead to you? I mean, how does it work?
Well, I think, you know, my mother probably didn't want me. I'm sure she didn't want me. I think that I just survived anyway. It's I hate you asshole, but it's a sexy I hate you asshole, and I will fucking triumph over your fucking ass one way or another, you fucking asshole. I know that none of this shines on my child. None of this dark side of the moon shit is on my kid, you know, and...
Well, that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah. It absolutely
Yeah,
is.
you actually have to draw the line under it.
The buck stops with me. None of this stuff from her dad's side or my family side is going to affect her. None of it. She's going to get whatever she wants, whatever she needs. I don't care what it takes. If anyone fucks with her, I will fuck with them. You want to go to the glasses store?
Frances is now 13 years old. Courtney lost custody of her during some of the worst times, but they've been fully reunited since Courtney came out of rehab.
It's kind of like, I have the black one. No. It's called a Liberty print. I know what that's called. Sleeping Days. We could get monogrammed ones too. Tacky. They're not tacky. Monograms are tacky. I'm supposed to have given up smoking
6 years ago.
when she learned to read, but I didn't. And now she's 13 and mad as hell.
The minute 2008 hits, if you haven't quit smoking,
What are you gonna do?
then really bad, yes, I'll hit you with wire hangers.
Their relationship seemed strong and loving, but there were moments when Courtney spoke of how destructive being separated from her daughter has been.
She said to me, I used to think you were the greatest person in the world, and then that stuff happened in the last 2 years, and now I don't trust you anymore.
Frances said that?
Yeah. Yeah, no. And she doesn't have a dad and stuff. It's hard.
I mean, the trauma of...
Department of Children's Services.
Yeah.
There's no need for that.